Yeah, how's everybody doing today? It's your boy Airboy, and I am back with another FanBoyAaron review, and this time I'm going to be taking a look at the Transformers Studio Series Voyager class Sentinel Prime. And English. As always, before we look at this guy, we're going to take a look at his box. So here we have the box. It's typical Studio Series box. Here's the front of the box with a nice image of Sentinel. He's number 61 of this line. He is from Dark of the Moon. Nothing on this side. Well, actually there is some on this side. Nice image of Sentinel being blocked by the light. There we go. Your side, there's Sentinel again. He is a Voyager class figure. Back of the box, there is a product shot, changes in 32 steps, and a one-sentence bio. Sentinel Prime battles his protege to ensure the survival of Cybertron. And you probably know one thing you probably notice: they have him labeled as a Decepticon. Which, I mean, kind of makes sense considering how things went down in the movie. Anyway, that does it for the box for now. Let's get back to the main event, and that would be Sentinel. And I will go ahead and point out right now, I did put an Autobot sticker on him, but I kind of scratched it in the process. I mean, that kind of works. He betrayed the Autobot, so you know what? He's going to keep his scratched up Autobot logo. But yeah, just for the record, I put that on there. That was not on this figure originally. Alright, now, Sentinel transforms into what's the name of his vehicle? A Rosenbauer firefighting technology airport truck, I believe is what this thing is. And it's a pretty nice fire truck. Now, a lot of people are complaining about the color of the plastic they use for this guy. Like, they were hoping it'd be black, and instead, it's more of a darkish metallic brown color. Personally, it doesn't bother me that much. I mean, yeah, I would have preferred straight up black, but I think people are making too big of a deal out of such a little thing. I think it looks fine. As you see, there's lots of nice metallic detail. Like, there's a little more paint. It would have been nice if there was just a little more paint in some areas of this guy, but overall, I do like how it looks. Lots of nice molded detail, and I do like the shade of red they went with. Red is my favorite color, so this was a go-to figure as soon as I could get it. He rolls fairly well. And, the only real gripe I have with the vehicle form is that some panels, as you can see, don't like to close up fully, especially this back one here. That just will not stay shut for whatever reason. If I work with it, I can kind of get these other panels to close up a bit, but no matter what I do, this back one will not shut all the way, but, you know, no biggie. And this hose, I assume this is a hose. This hose part on top has some articulation on a hinge there, so you can bring it back. It's also on a hinge here, so you can bring it back. If you want it more flush against his back, there's a little hole there for the peg right there. Just click it down, and that'll make it more flush against his back. Alright, vehicle mode comparisons. Here he is with Studio Series Ironhide. Well, you know, if you haven't seen the movie, I'm not going to spoil it, but he does something very bad to this character right here. Here he is with my last review, the Dark of the Moon Sandstorm. Yeah, just 'cause. I probably should have showed the vehicle sideways with Ironhide. Yeah, the scaling with Ironhide doesn't really work in vehicle mode. Unfortunately. But, you know, still best Ironhide figure, period. Here he is with Dark of the Moon Megatron. I reviewed this guy not too long ago. And you see lengthwise he is a little smaller than Megatron, but as far as the overall girth of the vehicle goes, it's more or less the same. And here he is with Optimus Prime, his protege. You didn't betray me. You betrayed yourself. Alright, now let's transform this guy. Thing about the transformation, it's a little involved, but not overly complicated. I do actually like the transformation. But first you want to follow up the... You can probably leave that hose the way it is, and you come back here. You want... Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and raise the camera now. Just make it a little easier. You want to take this part, this assembly here, and you want to try to wiggle it loose. Just pull it down. Just kind of get everything out of the way for starters. You come in here, pop the arms loose. Okay. You can go ahead and pop these side panels off as well. These become his weapons for the robot mode. We'll get into those in a second. You just want to basically pull everything loose and out of the way. The arms are clipped together, so you gotta pull them separate like that. Bring them out. Then while you got everything out of the way, just... Oh, hold on, I almost forgot. Fold these parts down all the way. Well, not all the way. I think about... Actually, right there. Yeah, there is a stopping point for these parts here. Just that little notch right there, I think. Oh yeah, I'm going to come up here and, what do we want to do? Oh, it's been a while since I handled this guy. He's just been sitting in my bedroom for like 2 weeks. Alright, come here. What do I want to do? I want to... Yeah, hold on a second. Alright, I got it. You want to take this panel here and pop it up. Bring it back. Flip the head up. Then you want to rotate this upper torso all the way around. Make sure everything's out of the way. Open that up. Fold in these panels. Well, actually, you don't want to do that. Hold on. What do I want to do? Okay, well, let's go ahead and put together his top part first. Again, it's been about 2 weeks or so since I put this guy. Fold these parts in. They'll just, if you got the head up all the way, they'll just clip right into place. Bring these panels flush against his body. Fold the arms down, and as you can see, this part will just fold in like that. Should... What am I doing wrong here? Oh, nothing. You gotta make sure everything tabs into place. Nice and... Well, it's also on a double hinge up here, so you gotta kind of work with that as well. There we go. Once you get that first tab in on the side there, it's a lot easier to close up his chest. Bring his shoulder pads up. Come to his lower body. Bring his legs down and plug his chest in to his hips. Separate the legs. Actually, let's go ahead and deal with this backpack first. Take this panel here. You can see that little slot there. We'll go into that slot hole right up here. I don't know how you can see it. Yeah, right there. That'll plug in nice and flush against his back. And you take this whole assembly on his back and tab that in. Well, first you want to pull it apart. And then it should tab in all the way. There we go. Now we can focus on his legs. What we want to do back here, we want to take these panels, fold them up out of the way, pull the legs out on both sides, pull the legs out. Then you take the parts with the wheels on them, and you rotate them around. Just like that. Then you go back to these side panels here. Well, I'm going to rotate the other side too. Then you take the side panels, and you close them up, flush against the legs. And you come to these parts on the back of the legs here. Fold them down. Bring them up. As you can see, there are various little tabs. There's a tab there that goes in that hole right there. And doing that should lock everything into place, I think. Okay, then you just take the front part of his leg and tab that in. And there you got a leg all done. Do the same thing on the other side. Bring that up. Bring that up. And just tap it in right there. And there we got the legs all done. And I think we're finished. Am I forgetting anything? I don't think so. No, good. Just want to plug that back in. And here we have Sentinel Prime in his robot mode. And I gotta say, this is a really, really good looking figure. Like, I absolutely love how this guy turned out. Again, people are pissy about the darkish brownish color they went with instead of straight black, but honestly, I could care less. This thing looks leaps and bounds better than the previous Sentinel Prime figures, color and detail wise. Like, I mean, I think this leader class Sentinel Prime that came out during Dark the Moon might be a little better in terms of articulation, but as far as appearance goes, this one is definitely the superior figure. But I can't really say too much about those figures because I never owned either one of them. So that might be the reason why I'm fangirling all over this guy, but even so, very nice figure. Let's bring him in closer so we can get a look at all that juicy red and details. Take a look at that head sculpt. Very nice, movie accurate head sculpt. Looks just like Leonard Nimoy before he died. Lots of beautiful mechanical detail all throughout this guy. Like, they really, really did a great job with this figure. Like, I absolutely adore it. And again, the backpack, it's a little obnoxious, but you know, if you take these flaps on his back into consideration, he had those in the movie, so kinda screen accurate. You know, it's not that bad. I've seen worse backpacks on Transformers. Now, let's talk articulation, shall we? The head is on a ball joint, but due to the shape of the head and the neck, it is a little limited. You can only look left and right about that far before his little chin whiskers get in the way. You can look up about that far, down, not that much. These back panels on his wings, or on his back, you can move up and down, so you can adjust those however you want. I just like to have them partially fleshed out like that, like a cape. These shoulder pads can move up and down. The arms can do full rotation. There is rotation right above the elbow, as well as a little over 90 degrees worth of elbow bend. Rotation at the wrist. Nothing at the waist, unfortunately, just due to how he transforms. The legs can go up that high and go back about that far before the stuff on his back starts getting in the way. Knees bend at about a little over 90 degrees. There is rotation right above the knee. And one neat little thing he has are these panels on the side of his legs. They open and close, particularly when you're moving the legs around. So I don't know how I feel. I kind of like that feature. So if you're posing them on the shelf, you can either leave these out or leave them in. That is a full option. Personally, I like to leave them out. They add a little more detail. Anyway, where was I? Rotation right at the knee. That knee bend. And there's nothing at the feet, unfortunately, but they are sculpted at a slight angle, so you can still get some slightly dynamic poses with the legs. Yeah, despite the limitations with the posability and the lower body, you can still get some decent poses out of this guy. And the side panels on the truck do become his weapons. You just take these little pegs here, fold them out straight. And he can hold them individually, but as you know, in the movie, they were a double-bladed weapon. Just take one end, work it into his hand. Then you take the other end, work it in, and there you go. He has his double-bladed sword. Unfortunately, he does not have his shield, and the sword, color and size-wise, does not look that accurate. Thankfully, at the time of this recording, DNA Designs announced that they were making an accessories kit for this guy, which will also include parts for Blackout and a Bumblebee figure I do not have. But I have Blackout, so if only for the new weapons for this guy and Blackout, I'm definitely grabbing that kit, and I will definitely be looking it over in a video too. Alright, now, let's get to the robot mode comparisons. So let me straighten everything out. There we go. Here he is with Studio Series Ironhide. Yeah. Again, no spoilers, but he does something very bad to this guy. Here he is with my last review, the Dark of the Moon Sandstorm, the Human Alliance Sandstorm. You can see that. He wasn't in the movie, but it's not a. They don't look bad together. Here he is with Studio Series Megatron, the Dark of the Moon version. And I do recall Megatron being a bit taller than Optimus, so I think this scaling is right. I don't remember. I don't know. I'll have to rewatch those movies to tell for certain. I know Megatron does tower over Optimus a little bit in the movies, so this scaling might actually be correct. I don't know. And speaking of Optimus, here he is with his protege, Studio Series Optimus Prime. And you can tell design-wise, they both share some similarities, so they're both primes. The only difference is one stayed a prime, the other lost his way. Again, if you haven't seen Dark of the Moon, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but as far as the Michael Bay films go, Revenge of the Fallen and Dark of the Moon are easily the best. Dark of the Moon especially because of this guy's character. Nimoy nailed the role, and I usually don't go for the traitor characters, but in the Sentinel's case, I think it works out for him. Alright, one more thing to show. Like every Studio Series figure, he comes with a box insert, a background. So, if you're a collector and you have the space for some kind of background or stand, one comes with the Studio Series figures. For Sentinel, it is the destroyed area in Chicago where he battled Optimus for the last time. We were gods once, all of us, but here there will only be one. Alright, and as he stands, he is about a little over 6.5 inches. And at the time of release, he's going for about $30 or so. And that pretty much sums it up. My final thoughts, it is a really great figure, and would I recommend finding this guy? Yes, I would. He is well worth his price tag. And again, the minor nitpick that people are having with him is the brownish plastic they use as opposed to straight up black. But honestly, I could care less. It's a very minor thing to me. I think he looks good regardless. The colors look good. The details are awesome. The only real issues I have are some things with the vehicle mode and the lack of articulation on the lower body. Other than that, This is a really good figure, well worth your time and money. If you can find them, grab them. Highly recommend it. So yeah, this has been the Transformers Studio Series Dark of the Moon Sentinel Prime. And join me next time when I'll be going over something a little different than Transformers. Not a NECA figure, but something that caught my eye, and I really love it, and I want to share it with all you. So yeah, tune in next time to see it. Bye-bye.